Um,
I'm gonna use my baby little bear to wipe my
wipe your screen. I'm on. How do I screen record this?
I'm gonna use my baby little bear. Wait. Gotta turn that down.
Go ahead and screen record this.
Wait, why am I looking at this? Oh, wait, now I can't hear you. Hold on. Oh, I know what I gotta do. Hold on. Gotta turn that down. I gotta turn that off. Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yep. Oh, wow, it looks so yellow. It looks yellow, doesn't it?
I mean, it's not natural light, but is it can you do a whiter light on your ring lights?
It's the light in the ceiling fan.
Oh, yeah, you probably need to go with soft white.
Is that better? No.
No.
Because this light in front of me is white. It is what it is.
We'll just go with it.
Okay.
We'll go with it. It is what it is.
Right. Oh, I need the link so I can share this. All right.
Why don't you do the reading, and then on the ones that are mine, we can just elaborate.
Say that again.
So we're going back and forth, back and forth. That's like a tennis match. You want to do a tennis match?
I mean, how you want to do it? What am I doing?
You want to do the reading, and then we just elaborate. We'll just jump in and talk about things as they come up, as you get points. Want to do that?
That's fine.
Okay. Oh, girls. And we're doing a Q&A at the end for the. Are we out on YouTube yet or no?
We are.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me find it.
Okay, so I just texted the group.
Is it private or did you make it public?
No, it's the real one.
Okay. Okay. All right, let me go find you. Because it should come up. Oh, here it is. Got you.
All right, so, and you said you already went to TikTok?
Yeah, I already let people on TikTok know.
Everything is so dark. Let's see.
Cycling. There's 3 people, well, including me, there's 3 people in the room right now. But it's just cycling. It's not like.
It's buffering?
Yeah, it's buffering. Can you see that?
I don't see that. It's fine on my end.
Why is it buffering? Why is it buffering? Oh, there it is. 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 Okay. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Hey. They just saw my little raggedy phone.
Wait, I missed it. Let me see.
Hey guys, you saw my little raggedy phone.
Let me see your phone.
This is my other one, my old one.
Oh.
My old one. Yeah.
All right, hey y'all. We're just waiting for a few more people to come in. Okay, there we go. Now, are you talking?
No, there's a delay.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. I'm like, wait, what happened? What happened this time?
It's probably about a 5-second delay on this.
Yeah, that delay is annoying.
Can you change it?
I think it's a YouTube thing that was put in place when people would show like really horrific things on
Ooh.
live. And so the delay is a way to shut down a live before certain things show.
Mm.
Yeah. So they did that like some years ago.
All right. I just told everybody glorious sunrise.
All right. Hey y'all, we're gonna wait maybe 2 to 3 more minutes as people are getting notified. I lost my train of thought before we get started. So if you all are watching, just let us know who you are and where you're watching from, because we can't see when people are joining on YouTube.
I can. I'm in the chat right now.
Right, but you know how on TikTok and Instagram it
Oh,
shows
yeah.
yeah. Okay, so
I'll
I'm
text
gonna
them.
go back over to the Zoom and I'm gonna pull up the slides. Okay, here we go. Now I can't see YouTube, so dang. I have my iPad. My kids took over my iPad.
You should have made me a model on your YouTube so that my comments could be blued, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. How do I do that?
If you click my name, if you click my little head, it should tell
Oh,
you. Yeah, you should
okay.
be able to.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, there we go.
Hey, Zen Shells, I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm on YouTube. I mean, Instagram.
Okay.
Okay, how do I get back? There we go. Nope, that's not it. Is it? That's it.
We got Renita from St. Louis in the house.
Renata.
Renata, I'm sorry.
Hey,
Thank you.
Renata.
We got you guys. First of all, let me just say I'm bad with names. So teachers, people, please forgive me ahead
Hey,
of time.
yeah. Okay, guys, I am streaming live on YouTube. Okay, so that's really where you guys want to be, because we have slides that you guys won't be able to see here on Instagram. So if you go to our YouTube at Teacher Chanel, you'll be able to actually see the presentation. And this is, we are going to be digging deep into self-sabotage, why we do it, the different personalities, and how to overcome it. So hop on over to YouTube at Teacher Chanel and join us over there. Dang, I wish I could see. I need one of my iPads. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself so I can scream at one of my kids to bring it. Hold on.
Okay.
Wait,
Welcome in, guys.
mute.
Glorious sunrise. Good afternoon. Glorious sunrise for some. Good afternoon for others. If you're coming in, just drop your name and drop where you're joining us from, just so that we can kind of get an idea of who's in the chat. I don't think your Instagram can't hear me. Oh, she can't. She's yelling at the kids, y'all. Welcome in again, guys. If I butcher names, those who know me know I am phonetically challenged, and I do apologize for that ahead of time. I do not mean to butcher names, and it's so weird because my name is a very unique one, and it gets butchered all the time. And here I am, I can't speak and tell phonetically pronounce other people's names. How ironic is that? But Miss Deidre, are you back?
Yep, I'm back.
Okay. Your people on Instagram can't see us, so that they need to come on over.
Yeah, they're supposed to be going over to YouTube, but I can't see YouTube, so.
Okay. We've got 8 people in the chat. Who else is in the chat? Hello from Florida. Yashin. Is it Yashin? Welcome in. I'm in Florida too. What part?
Oh, Yasheen. Hey, Yasheen. Hey, girl. Are we still doing the pick a card at the end?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can tell them about that so they make sure that they stay until the end.
Okay. How are we gonna do that though?
You can do it.
Okay.
If I
All
get
right.
anything intuitively, I will mention it, but you can handle that part.
Okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to while we're waiting for more people to come in, we got 9 in the chat. Welcome in, guys. D Smith, hey hey Danielle, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Um, I'm gonna set to St. Louis. All right, we got a few people from St. Louis. Midwest representing. I'm actually from Nebraska, so y'all right underneath us. Welcome in.
All right, guys, go ahead and share the live if you can. We're gonna get started in 1 minute. Un momento.
I'm gonna get these cards set up for the pick a card, so we don't have to wait too long. We can get right into it at the end. We got about 9 folks in the chat.
Hey, y'all, I can't see y'all, so can't see the chat. I was trying to get my iPad, but both of them, my kids have, so.
Oh, tell
Oh,
them come off of one of them.
sure.
Ooh,
Oh.
I see some good spirit messages coming out. All right, we're
So
gonna be
what is the
talking.
picket card going to be over?
Okay, ways that you self-sabotage and how you can get out of it. You know, because everybody, we have a good, I feel like most of us have a good amount of self-awareness, but there might be some spiritual inclinations that we lean towards that keeps us from really moving forward. So this picket card is going to help us to get messages from spirit and how we kind of show up in our daily lives in a way that limits our potential.
All right. So you ready to get started? You can see, you'll have to monitor the chat because again, I can't see it.
Yep, I got you. I got you.
Wait, that's
So
too
that's
loud.
why, yeah, I'll monitor the chat you read and I'll jump in and talk where I can.
All right, you guys. So obviously today nope, let me start the recording. Hold on.
Record, please.
Hold on, hold on. Oh, I hate that thing. All right, guys. So today we're going to be talking about self-sabotage and why we procrastinate. And the reason we were actually supposed to do something else, and I can't even remember what the other thing was, the other topic was, but we changed it, okay? Because we were supposed to do a webinar last week, and then we changed it just based on the feedback that I got from a text that I sent out to the text group, and I can't even remember what the text was, but so many people responded saying that they were dealing with procrastination, and we all know where procrastination comes from, right? A lot of people wanted to do certain things, but they feared mostly failure. And even some people feared success. So we were like, nah, this is something that we really need to go over and go deep into. If you are on TikTok, I'm actually, we have slides. So if you guys want to see the slides, you guys can go over to my YouTube channel, which is Tidra Chanel, so that you guys can see the slides, okay? That's for you guys on TikTok. All right. Okay, so a little bit about me. Y'all know who I am. Well, most of y'all do. I am Tidra Chanel. I have been known for almost 10 years as the manifestation mentor. You guys know that I started on YouTube after getting my life together because my life was in shambles for so many years. Okay, and there was an incident that happened. I'll tell y'all really quickly. I attempted suicide for the last time, thank God, in 2012. Ended up in a behavioral center for 11 entire days. And that was a very sobering experience for me because I got to see people that actually had mental challenges that there wasn't a whole lot of help for. And I realized that my life wasn't that bad. Okay, so that's what started my entire journey. I was a super negative person. The glass was always half empty. The sky was never blue. Nothing good was ever happening to me. And I was the queen of playing victim. It was always someone else's fault. It was never my fault. I never had anything to do with the shitty things that happened to me. So I embarked on my spiritual journey and self-development journey, and here I is. Okay. I am also the co-founder along with Karika of the CEO Attraction Academy, which we will be talking about a little bit in today's webinar. Okay, Karika, you want to tell them who you is?
I sure do. Hey guys, welcome. Like I said, glorious sunrise for some, glorious afternoon for others. I am Karika Moore. I am a oracle, a medium, and a tarot reader healer. I started my spiritual journey about going on 4 years now. Coming from a very religious background, I was actually a Jehovah's Witness for darn near 20 years. So this is quite a flip flop, some might say. But after my mother passed away, I was kind of plunged into the dark night of the soul. And that kind of awakened me to everything and a whole new world that's around me. And here it is going on 4 years later, and I'm here today. I fought. I fought very hard and very diligently for a long time. And teacher can tell you I was hard headed. I didn't want, like she said, we're coming from low vibrational behaviors, being pessimistic, being victims, procrastinating, self-sabotaging, being victims of doubt, being victims of our own making when we didn't have to be, and being very hard-headed and learning the lessons the hard way when all we had to do was just yield and listen to intuition, and we would have gotten here quicker. But with all that being said, we're here today, and so we're here to teach you guys about how to go from procrastination, self-sabotage to self-belief. The same course of self-awareness, of self-awakening that we took. We are now bringing it to you guys. So that's me.
Yes, and again on TikTok, we are streaming live on YouTube. So if you guys actually want to see the presentation, head over to my YouTube channel. It is at Teacher Chanel. Okay, I was gonna try to flip the camera, but apparently you can't flip the camera. So yeah, you guys will have to join us on YouTube. All right. So in today's webinar, these are the things that we're going to cover. Number one, what is self-sabotage and why do we do it? We're going to cover the 10 personality types of a self-saboteur.
Mhm.
And we're also going to go into how you can shift from where you are now in this procrastinative state, in this fearful state, to a state of self-belief. Okay. All right, let me move this over because now it's in my way. All right, so self-sabotage is when we actively or passively take steps to prevent ourselves from reaching our goals. This behavior can affect nearly every aspect of our lives, be it in a relationship, a career goal, or personal goals. Although very common, it is an incredibly frustrating cycle of behavior that lowers our self-confidence and leaves us feeling stuck. There are many reasons why people may choose self-sabotaging behavior, but many stem from a lack of belief in oneself. Substance abuse, turning to food, or procrastination can all be ways in which we self-sabotage. We may also self-sabotage by not committing to relationships or being a poor friend when connection is what we truly want. Okay. So as you guys get poked throughout these slides, just go ahead and put it in chat and say, that's me. That's me. Ouch. And we're going to move on. Did you want to add anything to this?
Sure. So yeah, just use the code word ouch when you feel triggered. So yeah, self-sabotage, that is a very sneaky and insidious little um energetic personality trait that we all, in some form or fashion, we suffer from. And so, as the slide was saying, some of the most common ways that we do it, for those, I struggle with my weight, the overeating, the overindulgence. You'll see how that kind of shows up in a form of self-sabotage. And if you guys get readings with us, a lot of times we'll be like, there's some self-saboteur behavior that happens, and that, energetically spirit will pick up on. So again, as you get poked, as Peter said, as you get triggered, just, put ouch in the chat, and we know that you're feeling, or what we're saying is resonating with you.
Yeah, because I don't really mess with Dr. Phil like that, but one of his famous quotes that I do mess with is, "You cannot change what you don't acknowledge." And so every first step to change is the acknowledgement and taking responsibility, okay? Because we don't know what you guys are dealing with, right? Only you know that. And in order to really start to achieve the things that you want to achieve in life, you take a look at where you are now. If you don't like where you are now, then obviously there's some things that need to change, right? So it might, you will get triggered, I'm pretty sure, throughout these slides, but it's okay. We're not judging, because we also have things that we deal with too on a day-to-day basis. For real.
Exactly. We already got our first ouch.
Yeah. All right. So why do we self-sabotage? Number one is we lack self-worth. When we do not believe in ourselves, we cannot achieve our goals. Included in self-confidence is our self-worth. If we constantly tell ourselves that we are not smart enough, qualified enough, or good enough to have what we want, we will act accordingly to what we are telling ourselves. There goes that self-concept. Okay. The way we speak to ourselves matter and directly reflects how we have, and directly affects how we have a lack of self-confidence. We may worry that we truly aren't qualified or prepared, and that we will be exposed as a fraud. Our fear of success leads us to engage in behavior that limits our success. When we are getting close to achieving a goal, we may start doing things that can stop us from achieving the goal. Success requires a high level of effort, Lord have mercy, yes it does, responsibility and accountability. If you have been in a pattern of never being accountable or responsible, the thought of true success is daunting and terrifying.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, look, that is so true. One of the things I always like to kind of bring personal stories into it. And when we were kind of putting together the information, this kind of hit home, especially being exposed for a fraud or suffering from that imposter syndrome, where you feel like, okay, I'm being called to do something, but I'm not worthy of this. At the core of self-sabotaging behavior, like it says, is the lack of self-worth. And lack of self-worth is rooted in the fear that you are not good enough for what you're being called to do. And a lot of us will suffer from that fear. That fear can be very crippling and debilitating. And so this information, like I said, as we put it together, is going to kind of highlight how it shows up for each individual person, because it'll show up in different ways.
Mm-hmm. All right. So shop the style plug. Say ouch, girl. To self-worth.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. Hashtag ouch. Okay. Also, what we want to place, or should I say, what am I saying? We want to place fault elsewhere or fall into the self-fulfilling prophecy failure trap. When we believe that we aren't going to do well or fail, no matter what, we begin behaving in a way that ensures we will fail. When we think things like, I won't get the contract anyway, we displace our responsibility in achieving our goals. When we do fail, because we already told ourselves we would, the blame can be transferred to someone else. We can justify procrastination or not preparing, as we already accepted that we will not succeed. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. I always say that we have to watch our words.
Mm-hmm.
And words and spells, right? And we can speak things into existence. And we may think that, oh, what we're saying is not that powerful, what we're saying is not that big of a deal, right? But we definitely, you know how people go around saying, and I even had someone in my tribe say this recently, that they felt like they were cursed. And the idea is the curse came from somebody else. Somebody did some hoodoo, conjured up some things, and that's why their life or their money, I think that she was talking about money, that's why their money is funny. But what we have to realize is that a lot of times when we go around saying things like, I'm broke, I don't have enough, I don't make enough money, maybe next year I'll do that. All of those things are curses that we're speaking over our own experiences. So we have to be careful. The struggle is real is another one. And I don't even use the word struggle. And those of you who have been around for a minute know I don't use that word. And people love to say, oh, the struggle is real, as if it's a joke. Well, what you're doing is speaking more struggle over your life. So even your subconscious don't know you playing, because your subconscious is taking you for real. Okay. Oh, you say the struggle is real, then that's something that you love. So we're going to give you more of that. So we got to be very, very mindful of the words that we speak. I'm going to get off my soapbox on that.
Oh, I agree. I definitely agree. I feel
Yeah.
like going back to the subconscious mind, one of the things that how you reprogram that subconscious mind, we tell you all the time to feed it with affirmations, feed it with your visualizations. Well, if you can feed it with positive things, as teacher was bringing out, you can also feed it negatively, and you might do so unwillingly, unwittingly, and then maybe even in a self-sabotaging way, because again, as we were reading, you don't want to take control of your life. You don't want to be responsible. And so if it's somebody else's problem, if it's a curse, I don't know how many people come to us for tarot readings and they feel like they'll say, "Sis, I feel like somebody put something on it," and ain't shit there. There ain't nothing there whatsoever. And you're like, no, what you're feeling is the consequences of your own actions. And that puts that responsibility back in your hands. And the sooner people, I'm gonna say this, the sooner you're willing to take responsibility for your life, the sooner you can change it. The sooner you can change it.
Yeah. All right. Another reason we self-sabotage is we want to control. We feel better when we feel like we are in control. I'm guilty of this. By accepting a negative outcome ahead of time, we feel like we are in control, even though it's not what we want to happen. When in effect, control our failure, when in effect, control our, I don't understand this. When in effect, control our failure. Oh, I get it. When in effect, we control our failure when we apply this self-sabotaging behavior and thought patterns. Having object, why can't I say this word?
Abject.
Abject, I know. Control means that you should shut down to the possibilities around you. You shut off needed help that can take you from where you are to where you need to go. You cut off other roads or avenues that could actually be better for you to explore. You design yourself. You resign yourself. Okay, hold on, y'all. I might have to turn this light because I'm blind and this light is shining. Okay. You resign yourself to not seeing past the nose on your face. Your sight or vision becomes limited. Dark now. Anything you want to add to that?
Yes. Now, for those who are of my tribe, you guys know I always hone in on you guys letting go of control. First of all, control is an illusion. You are in control of nothing. You are in control of nothing external to you. You are only in control of yourself. And when you try to control everything around you, you're limiting spirit's ability to show up and perform miracles on your behalf. So again, like the information said, there might be avenues and roads that you may not be aware of. There might be people that come in contact with you that can actually lead you to different paths. And you have to be open to all these opportunities because again, control limits you. It limits you in terms of what you can hold on to, what you can grab. When you're limited, you're not allowing the infinite universe to work in your behalf. And that's the insidious thing about control. I think with Tidra and me, control, being a control freak, yeah, that was probably one of the hardest things to kind of break. The ability, just to kind of take your hand off the wheel. You know how they say Jesus take the wheel. One of my favorite gifts is this little guy driving a car, and then Jesus comes running up alongside the car. He gets in there, cracks me up every time. But you're allowing spirit to take the wheel, and so many times we're trying to drive it, and we're going down a wrong road. Matter of fact, we're going down a dead end.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely still deal with that whole control thing. It's hard for me to release control, which is why I don't have an assistant. And I was just saying the other day, I think it was yesterday, I need an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
But because I don't know of anyone who will baby my baby, because my businesses are my babies, you know what I mean? I just can't do it. And I've tried in the past. And I will nitpick. I'm already picky. I'm the pickiest person I know. But at least I can admit it. Okay, damn it. Yeah, I just can't do it, but it's something that I need, because if you want your business to scale and grow, you can't do it by yourself. Maybe in 2023, I'll be ready to release control. Probably not. Who we fooling?
She'll continue to struggle, y'all.
Who we fooling? Okay. Also, we self-sabotage because we fear failure. Now, this is the biggest one I think there is. Okay. How many of you all in the chat, the reason you don't go for it is because you think you're going to fail? Y'all put it in the chat, and Karika, you let me know who's saying what. All right. We fear that we will give all we have to a goal and still not be enough. It is easier to give yourself reasons as to why you failed than truly give it your all and still not succeed. This is the most overwhelming reason we self-sabotage. Yes. And I always bring this up. I don't know how long ago, maybe a month ago, I saw this guy on this video on TikTok. I think it was on TikTok. Had to be, because I'm always on TikTok. And he is a business owner, and he always says that he goes for the fill every single day, right? Because it keeps him going. It makes him work, right? If you have in your mind you're going to fail, then a lot of people don't do shit. But he actually goes for the fail and surprises himself when he actually succeeds in different avenues and different journeys, right? So it's okay to go for the fail. It's okay, right? And this is why I find that it's so important to study highly successful people. That's where I started back in the day when I was broke in that little ass apartment with all of my kids. It was a roach infested apartment, because that's all I couldn't really afford that. The rent was $578. Okay. I couldn't afford to pay a coach. All I could afford to do was watch YouTube interviews and read and buy books on Amazon, used books at that. And so that's when I started studying highly successful people by watching interviews. And that all of them failed. All of them had many businesses that they had tried and failed at before they found the one that they were successful at. Like, it's very difficult to get to success without failure. They just kind of go hand in hand, right? Everything isn't going to be perfect. Not everything that you try is going to work. But at what point are you going to stop allowing fear to completely take over you? Right? You might as well stay where you are. You might as well stay at that 9 to 5. Just stay there, friend, because failure is a part of it. In entrepreneurship, there are some days where you're going to make $0. Mm-hmm. There are some months that you're going to have 4 and 5 figure months. There are some months where you make $200 and you're like, what the hell? right? It's a part of it until you really find your flow. So failure, we don't use that as an excuse anymore.
Not at all.
It is what it is. You're going to fail at some things, right? That's all a part of learning. That is how we learn.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. I always tell people, when people are afraid to go because they're afraid that the answer might be no, I always tell them, well, even if the answer is no, you're no worse off than you are right now.
Right.
But you know how to maneuver around that no. When you go for the fail, or even when you do fail, even when you don't go for the fail, you fail. You're learning something in the process. Failure is a learning process. You're learning how to do it better the next time. You're getting critical information about the path that you're on, and you're able to see where pitfalls were. You're able to see where, other paths might divert you to better options. It kind of opens your mind, because again, a lot of us, going back to control, our perspective is very limited. Our eyesight is very, very limited. But that failure is like a eye-opening, wide awakening slap across the face that kind of brings you to. It's almost like a come to Jesus moment that brings you to and helps you to figure out how to do it better. So as soon as you guys get very, very comfortable with failing, the better off you're going to be. I always tell people, look, I understood when Spirit started me out on this journey. I was like, this is something brand new. I don't know what I'm going to do. Y'all, so you guys, those who have been with me on this last year, this journey on TikTok, you have seen me get smacked around by Spirit, because wasn't listening. I was trying to, jockey for control. Okay, I felt good, and I got complacent, and you saw me fail many, many times, and you saw me recover. And once you become very, very comfortable with failure, it's like it's second nature. It's second nature, because you're getting to the win, and you're getting to the win a lot quicker.
Yeah. You just got to get up and go for it. It's not always going
Mm-hmm.
to be pretty. It's not always going to be what we deem a success, but we need to start shifting our
Mindset.
perspective. And the success should be in the fact that you tried, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where it should
Exactly.
be.
Mm-hmm.
Shop the style plug said, that's me right now. I haven't made any sales in over a month. It happens. Also, one really, really big thing that I've learned in my entrepreneur journey, thankfully, I had an amazing mentor starting out. So I learned this very early on, is that you got to invest in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't know what else to do, and you're like, listen, I done tried everything, you might need to invest in a coach.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the best things that I could have done, right? When you've exhausted all of your knowledge, you're going to have to invest in something, classes, courses, one-on-ones, something from somebody. You cannot Google your way to success. And that's what a lot of people want to do. Google is going to give you some things, right? It may not, it may give you some of the ingredients, but it's not going to give you the whole recipe, right? You cannot Google someone's experience, someone who's been where you are. And people say, well, I can Google it for free, where you're paying these people for their experience. You're paying them for the learning curve, right? They've already gone through it. They've already failed. Sometimes you just got to invest. Sometimes you need to pivot, and that's okay. Sometimes what you're doing is not working, and it's evident by the sales that you're bringing in. So, okay, I need to do something else. Okay. All right. I'm not going to go get on that soapbox, because I will. All right. So now we're going to get into the 10 self-sabotage. Y'all, these braces play me. Because when it comes to S's, I just can't do it. Because now I
Can't
got
do
a
it.
list.
It's
Baby,
the 10 self-sabotaging personalities, y'all.
thank
There you
you.
go.
Because y'all be thinking, well, can a bitch read? I don't know. Okay. All right. So as we are going through these 10 different types of personalities, I want you to put your type in the comments, okay? Lord, y'all, if y'all hear my kids, they getting the groceries in. just ignore them because they are being extra loud and obnoxious. Okay. All right. Jesus. Ooh, this is me. This is me. This is me. The procrastinator. And I still deal with this to this day. I still deal with it. This is someone who is constantly putting things off and waiting until the last possible second, really. This behavior wastes time or creates unproductive time, sets them up to believe they can only achieve by putting things off, and never lets them get ahead. Now, I don't let my procrastinative ways completely stop me, but yeah, I'm a last minute person. I'm packing the hour before I gotta go on the flight. I put these slides together yesterday and was stressed the hell out. This doesn't work. This is not effective at all. Being a procrastinator is what you don't want to be, because even though I work very well under pressure, I'm also under pressure. Okay. And I don't handle pressure that well. And I easily get overwhelmed. I was talking to Karika while I was doing this. I said, girl, I'm about to throw this fucking laptop. Because everything that could have went wrong did. And this is why you don't want to be that last minute person. You want to have that buffer of time just in case things do go wrong. But honey, I think it's because I'm a Sagittarius. I'm just blaming on that.
We can't blame it on anything. No, because we just told him not to. We just told him not to.
It's my sign. I can't help when I was born.
I don't think I'm so much of a procrastinator. I'm action oriented, but I know some people have that. That's just what I'm not gonna say that's who they are. That's what they become. They are more comfortable with just putting it off. I don't really want to do it. Again, it's that procrastination is rooted in failure. I don't really want to take action because I fear maybe I'm not good enough to do it. So if I put it off, if I don't have to look at it, if I don't have to do it, or the longer I wait, like it's gonna get better. It's not gonna get better. Just do it. Just do it. The opposite of procrastination is action. So, with any of these personality traits, guys, the way you kind of combat it is you take the word and you do the complete opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me, it's the clarity component. And again, I am a perfectionist, and I'll have in my mind exactly how I want something to be. And if I can't create that, then I just keep putting it off to the last possible minute. And then I just be like, okay, I just got to put whatever it just has to go, right? Just like with the thumbnail for this, Lord have mercy. Literally.
It was a thumbnail, y'all.
It was a thumbnail, but because I'm that perfectionist and I hated it, I waited to the last possible minute to send it. I was like, here, I don't like it, but it is what it is. All right. Ooh, the overthinker. This person thinks everything to death in a way that puts extreme emphasis on the negative. Even something small can turn it or can turn into a spiral of anxious thoughts. This behavior strips their confidence and creates constant self-doubt, overfocuses them on the negative, and sets up a self-fulfilling prophecy. It forces them to need control and certainty.
I'm guilty. That is me. That is me. Guilty as charged. A lot of times when we do like the cleanse and clear ritual, one of the components that is placed in that ritual is to help people to overcome overthinking. So many of us, we get into our heads, especially like air signs. I call them airheads, and even like Virgos, they get in their heads. Scorpios too. That's why I said it's me. We get in our head and the wheels just spin, and they're spinning nowhere. They're spinning nowhere. But that is a way to keep you from moving forward and keep you from actually making a concrete decision if you're always thinking about it. If you're always thinking about it and then you overthink about it, you overanalyze it. it keeps you from moving forward. It can be crippling. It can, again, some of these things can be debilitating. They will stop you in your tracks. And overthinking is one of those things that will stop you dead in your tracks.
Yes, it will. I don't
Mhm.
really deal with the overthinking. And I think, again, it goes back to being a Sagittarius. And one of our traits is we're very rash and we're very quick to make a decision. We're not indecisive people for the most part. So I don't really deal with the overthinking, I don't think.
You triggered me yesterday, and I told you that. Her procrastination triggered my overthinking. I said, if you just don't send me something so I can do this, and so I'm not thinking about it, she triggered me, y'all.
Oh Lord, the blood leading the blind, Jesus, fix it.
I said, how are we gonna help these people? And we're still afflicted. How are we gonna help these people? But that's what we're here for. We understand completely these personality traits because a lot of us, even us, we exhibit them and we deal with them on a daily basis. The way that I kind of combat overthinking is I like to be prepared. That's why I was like, come on, Tidra, come on. And I was like, if I have it soon, I can kind of think it through. I can just come to the decision and let it go. That's kind of how I handle my overthinking. But since I've done some of the spiritual work that kind of leaves me spinning, I noticed that it lessens that particular personality trait.
Yeah. LEL says, I struggle with procrastination and overthinking.
Mm,
Bless your heart. But
Ciao.
we still got more to go.
We
We
got
still
more.
got more to go. Number 3 is the assumer. I think I live with one of these.
Mm.
Sure. An assumer is someone who's always predicting the future. Oh my God, yes, it is him, and acting on those predictions. Come on, words before seeing if they come true. They decide how they're going to feel, what is going to happen, and how people are going to react before even entering into a situation. It prevents them from taking action and keeps them stuck. It closes them off to new opportunities and never allows them to prove themselves wrong. Yeah.
Mm. Yep, those are the people. And I see this now. I don't necessarily do this myself, but I see this a lot in people's readings where they come in and they already have this set outcome, this set mindset, and it doesn't allow for, like I said, I want you guys to notice that in a lot of these traits, the result is this: it limits you. You shut down and you're unable to receive any further guidance from others and from spirit that can actually take you further. If you've already assumed in your mind how somebody's going to react, you're like, well, I might as well not even try. Well, how do you know that they're going to react like that? That's just your assumption. They could actually surprise you and you could have a totally different outcome than you expected. But you'll be surprised at how many people kind of fall into that trap of being an assumer.
Yeah. And assuming also helps you to think or speak things into existence, right?
Mhm.
I think I used to fall into this category when I was that super negative person. I would always assume, right? The law of assumption, what you assume to be will be, right? It is definitely a way of speaking things into existence. And so you feel like you're a whole psychic because what you assume to be the outcome actually was the outcome, but the outcome could have been different had you not assumed it. Does that make sense?
Exactly. Because yeah, exactly. You assume it, so then you actually create
You created
situations
it. Mhm.
exactly to make that outcome what it is. So you've taken action, but you've taken action in the wrong manner. Instead of taking action in getting what you want, you took action in getting what you didn't want. That's
Right.
all.
Because
That's all.
as an assumer, you have to see it. It has to play out in your mind. And
Mhm.
if you know that that is the first place that we create.
Manifestation.
It's in our minds, right? So all of these things go back to some law in one way or another, but the law of assumption is in play when you are an assumer.
Hmm.
Preach. Okay, number 4, the avoider. Avoiders generally keeps themselves away from situations that cause them anxiety or push them out of their comfort zone. Doing so limits growth opportunities, reinforce fear, and remove positive and enjoyable opportunities and experiences from life. Yeah, I don't know anybody who's an avoider. Do you?
I've come across some avoiders where they will not put themselves, they won't step outside their comfort zone. If they're not, like my sister, oh, here we go. My sister, she is an avoider. She will not do anything that she does. She's like, I don't, if I'm like, let's go somewhere, let's do this. No, I don't want to do that. I said, let's go to Florida and just have a vacation. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Anytime they are forced to step outside of their comfort zone, they will avoid it at all costs. And she is literally, like I told her, I said, your life will be a shut-in. You will live a life at 46 years old. You will live a life as a shut-in, and that's what an avoider does. You're living a life as an emotional and mental shut-in, because, like it says, you're shutting yourself off from positive experiences that come your way when you step outside of your comfort zone. They're not willing to do so. So I do know an avoider, my sister. Yes,
Wow.
ma'am. Mm-hmm.
We have anybody admitting to being one of these 4 yet in the chat?
Who's who? Which personality trait are you guys? Everybody say it, ouch. But which ones do we have in the chat? Who's an avoider? Who's an assumer? Who's a procrastinator, overthinker? Go ahead and put your personality trait in the chat so we can know. Let's see how self-aware you are.
Right. All right, so while we're waiting on that, we're gonna go to number 5, which is the self-protector. This is someone who's constantly covered in metaphorical armor. They always keep their guard up because they believe an attack could be coming around the corner. As a result, their romantic relationships that never have any real depth, emotionality, or in many cases, longevity. I don't know any self-protectors either.
I think self-protectors come into play, especially if you've had some sort of like childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you've experienced trauma, you become very self-protective of your autonomy. And so it could actually become crippling in a sense that you, like it says, most of these things keep you from going outside your comfort zone. If you don't know what's around the corner, if like you said, if they don't know what's coming ahead, if they can't see it, they're not going to do it. They're going to avoid it at all costs. And a self-protector can easily become an avoider, can very easily slip into that avoider personality, which I think is a little bit worse than a self-protector. Self-protector is just an unhealed person not wanting to get hurt again.
Yeah, a person is guarding their heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that. All right, number 6, the control freak. These folks like to ensure that they are never surprised or caught off guard. Words. They want to be prepared for every situation and interaction, and their method of doing so is to control everything they possibly can. As a result, they tend to avoid situations where they're less likely to have control, and they often become fearful of these situations, become fearful. Okay, these situations limit growth opportunities. This reinforces their anxiety and limits their social engagements and social opportunities. I know one of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Control freaks are often you'll see this personality with narcissistic behaviors, with they have to have this abject control over everything. Um, and every interaction. And like it says, I want you guys to notice how all these 6, they limit your opportunities for growth. So if we're actively engaging in any of these personality traits, I don't like to use the word retarded, but to retard something is to limit its growth. And so on a metaphorical, emotional, spiritual plane, you're retarded in a sense that you limit your growth opportunity and you have reached your potential. And if you're an infinite being, if you're a spiritual being having an infinite experience here, your experience on this plane of existence and beyond is never limited. You just cut off any opportunity to really see where you can go. So I just want you guys to be kind of cognizant of that. That all these personality traits have one thing in common: it limits you. It cuts you off.
Yes, it does. All right. So we have two people on TikTok that say procrastinating and overthinking.
Okay, we've got
Yeah.
Danny. She said she's 1, 2, and 4. Latesha says she's an overthinker and avoider. Brandy Nicole says she's a procrastinator and avoider. Yashin is overthinker, procrastinator, and avoider. Tink said, "Ouch, that's me." I think. Think which one were you? Think which
All
one
of
were
them?
you? I just she was. I think she's an. I think she might be a self protector. Is that what you were saying? Ouch to Tink. I think that's. I think she was saying ouch to being a self protector
Okay.
or avoider. I can see avoider in Tink as well.
Okay. Number 7, overindulger. This type is lacking in moderation and balance, which means they're either off or on. They essentially like to turn a little they essentially like to turn a little into a lot and tend to see things in black and white terms. This prevents them from achieving their goals and sets them up to believe they have no self-control, creating an all or nothing behavioral loop.
I would say an over
I don't know any of these either. Do you?
overindulgers. You'll see an overindulger. I was at one time an overindulger, and it was very hard when you're cut. I will say this: my overindulgent behavior came from trauma, and when you come out of like sexual trauma and things like that, it's very hard to find your center. And you, like I said, you become all or nothing, black or white. They could be very overindulgers, can be very judgmental, and yet of other people that indulge, but yet they're doing so themselves. So, and you'll see an overindulger often also struggles with weight. We
Mm,
struggle with weight because they have no, like I said, they lack balance. They lack a lot of balance, and they lack the ability to find their center, to ground themselves. So yeah, those overindulgers, they lack grounding a lot of times.
okay. Anybody fall into that category? Let us know. Number 8, self-critic.
Mm.
These folks who are constantly analyzing their own behavior and beating themselves up. They tend to ignore evidence that is positive and overemphasize evidence to suggest that they are flawed or damaged. This type of thinking sets them up to have low self-esteem and makes them unwilling to push themselves to branch out.
Mm. Very self-critical. Very. I know a lot of people that are very self-critical,
There
and
are a lot of
they will never
guys.
give themselves a credit for the things that they have done.
Mhm.
Um, I see that a lot, even on my lives when people come on and they're more than willing to give us the credit for the work that they've done. And I'm constantly telling people, no, you did the work. I just, pushed you in that direction. I just showed you an opportunity. You had to do the work. And that self-critical person, they'll never see the gains that they've made. They never see the gains that they made because they're more willing, like I said, they're more than willing to give everybody else the credit, and they'll deny themselves the own that same blessing in their own life, which is it's a yeah, it's just I'm like, you don't see what you did, you don't see the work you did. I
Yeah,
have nothing to do with that. But
yeah.
yeah, they'll set themselves up for failure that way.
These people feel like failures.
Hmm.
Um, Again, because they don't really assess the things that they have achieved, right?
Hmm.
And these types of people really get overwhelmed with the failures. And that's all that they see. That's the dominating thing right in their faces because they don't really see where they have had successes and wins. And so I've encountered these types of people many times throughout my coaching career. And I always tell people to write down the things that you have succeeded at, that you feel like you've succeeded at, right? Because we forget, right? Because what's the loudest? It's the failure. The failure is always the loudest. But we can have 100 wins and 5 failures, but that's where our focus is going to be, because we allow those to be super loud and dominating. So if you are number 8, okay, which Shop the Style Plug says she is, go ahead and write down the things that you have achieved in your life, in your careers, in your businesses. And then when you start to feel down and low and feel like, oh, you go back into that, woe is me, you know, I'm always failing, then you can go back and read and remember that you have come a long way, because we all have. We've all come. Can we all just think back to the lowest moment of our lives? Right? Can we just really go there? Then that should let you know very quickly, damn, I have come a really long way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Number 9, oh Lord, it's me too. You know what? I started to put my picture right here.
You should have.
I started to put me right here because, Lord Jesus, the perfectionist. This person has an ideal in mind for it. And when I say everything is right here. And if I can't achieve it that way, Lord have mercy. A standard that they are always trying to meet or live up to. This thinking also creates an all or nothing behavior loop, creating avoidance behavior and setting them up for self-criticism and self-attack, basically.
I'm gonna let you speak on the perfectionist. I'm gonna let you speak on it.
Oh, yeah, I need therapy. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. This is just, where does this come from? I have no idea where this comes from. Well, no, I do. I'm lying. I think this really comes from, my mother was there. I was raised by my mom, but she was a true Capricorn and always working. She had her own business. She was a solopreneur, so she was always busy. And then my father was in my life in the beginning, the first 5 years of my life, and then he was in and out from there. And I think there was a part of me who felt like I did something wrong. And there was a reason that my mom didn't find that I was important enough to build a relationship with. And there was a reason that my father found it so easy to be out of my life for gaps of time, right? And I felt like if I was more of a perfect child, then maybe they would actually want to be around me or spend time with me. And I think that's where that comes from, if I'm keeping it 100.
Exactly. I think a lot of perfectionists, that's how this personality trait develops. It's as a childhood, that wounding, and not thinking that you were good enough. Maybe if I had been better. Perfectionists, they develop that type A personality, that controlling personality, because they have to make sure that everything is perfect. Otherwise, their greatest fear is that people will look at them and leave. It's almost like a perfectionist has a fear of abandonment.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's at the root of it. I fear that people will leave me because I'm not perfect. So if I go above and beyond and I make everything spotless, if I make everything perfect, they'll have no reason to leave.
Yeah, pretty much. Anybody a perfectionist? I know I'm not the only one. Don't be leaving me out here like this. Somebody else, at least one other person, is also a perfectionist. I know it.
Oh yeah, we've got some in the chat that's saying me. Yep. Somebody said, Danny said that hers came from her parent as well. Like I said, I feel like that a lot of our traits, unfortunately, would have developed during childhood. Some, in your adulthood, you'll develop those. But perfectionism is rooted in, like I said, for a lot of us in that childhood. It really is.
Yeah. Wanting to be accepted.
Wanting to be accepted.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. We got one person admitting it over here. Is it Chantella. Yeah. Okay, number 10. This is the last one, and this is the doubter. This person allows self-doubt to no, let me start over. This person allows self-doubt. I I don't know what this is saying, is activated in their thoughts and tend to keep themselves from getting out there. In a work context, this may look like not sharing ideas, not speaking up, not serving as well as they could, etc. Ultimately, playing it small in their careers and personal lives. They play it safe. Yeah, for
That's
real.
me. That's me. That's me all day long.
Really?
I suffered from crippling before I really came into my own spiritually. It was when I say crippling, it was
Oh yeah,
debilitating.
before, yeah.
I could not move forward. I doubted everything. I was like, I needed confirmation for every single thing. If I saw a teacher online, I was, hey, confirm that for me. And I'm going to the next person to confirm the same thing. I could not sit with my own energy. I could not sit with my own intuition and believe what was being, what I felt and what was being told to me. Couldn't. I couldn't do it. And yeah, like I said, it shows up as not sharing ideas. I remember being a kid and knowing I was probably the smartest in the fucking room and playing it safe, playing it small because I said, well, I know the answer, or I think I know the answer. You go from I know the answer
Yeah,
to I think I
yeah.
know the
I
answer to
think, yeah.
I don't know shit.
Right.
So you just sit there and teacher be like, Karika, I don't know shit. I don't
Right.
know what I know. It was like I say, it could be so debilitating. So yeah, I understand, and my heart goes out to those doubters that get in your head. I'm gonna say this: overthinking and doubter, they kind of go hand in hand, like perfectionist and let's see, perfectionist and procrastinator. Yeah, they kind of go hand in hand too. Those are, kind of, both sides of the same coin. So I completely understand those doubters and those overthinkers because again, you know what you know or you think you do. You go from knowing to thinking to you don't know shit.
Right.
And all in one fell swoop. And you just it's like, well, let me just sit down. I can't do that because I can't if I can't get confirmation that I was doing it right, I couldn't move. I couldn't make a move.
Yeah. But you feel like you've overcome that.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. A lot of us don't realize that a lot of these personality traits are energetic entities that kind of control the mind, kind of control the spirit. And once we start to understand energy and we can clear some of these energetic blocks, it clears the mind to think freely. And that's what we'll be teaching you guys in our mentorship program. We'll get into that a little later, but we're going to teach you guys how to overcome these blocks. These are mental blocks, these are energetic blocks, spiritual blocks that you can overcome. So yeah, you're sitting here seeing somebody who, like I said, was debilitated. I could not make a decision. I could not move forward without somebody confirming that I was doing something right. And even when I knew I was doing it right, somebody else had to tell me I was doing it right.
Yeah. She ain't lying. She
Y'all,
ain't
I ain't lying.
lying. So she wins, says she's a 1, a 2, a 7, a 9, and a 10. Dang, you half of them, friend?
But you know what? You'll be surprised at how many people suffer from a lot of
Yeah.
these traits simultaneously.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, a doubter and a overthinker, two sides of the same coin. A perfectionist and a procrastinator, two sides of the same coin. So you'll see yourself showing up in many of these avenues, displaying many of these avenues that keep you from moving forward. That's like I said, that's what we really want you to understand. One, they're rooted in fear and
Yeah.
they're rooted in low self-worth. And then two, they keep you from moving forward.
They do. So I want to remind you guys that stay till the end. We will be doing, or Karika will be doing a pick a card. We're gonna have what, 3 options?
Three options.
3 options, and the message is going to be what?
The message, these are spirit messages. Again, I love pick a card readings because they force you to use your intuition. They force you to believe in what you're being told and shown by your spirit team. So you're going to have 3 options that'll be laid out before you. Pick the pile that resonates with you. And the messages are going to contain maybe ways that you self sabotage. These are spirit messages coming from spirit, ways that you self sabotage and ways that you can stop it. What spirit has to say in this regard, not just what our slides say, but what spirit has to say.
Okay, so those of you on TikTok, once we get towards the end, we're going to do that pick a card, and you're gonna have to go over to YouTube at Teacher Chanel on my YouTube in order for you to intuitively choose your pile. Okay, but we'll let you know when we get there. So now we're going to dig into how we can shift or how to make shifts towards fierce self-belief and success. Okay, so basically shifting from the energy of self-sabotage to self-belief, right? All right. So number one, let go of your made-up timeline and shoulds. When we are holding on to societal norms, we create a constant list of all the things we should be doing, and a lot of them aren't even our true desires. That's a big one. And I talk about this a lot because people want to follow the habits and rituals of other people because they are where I want to be. They have the things that I want to have. So then I need to mimic everything that they can do so that I can be successful as well. And then you find yourself doing things that don't even align or resonate truly with you, right? And then you stop. Okay, you find yourself just stopping because it's no longer comfortable. So we really do have to lean on our own selves and lean on our own intuitions and go with our gut feelings. And what is it? Allow your guides to truly guide you. It's okay to be inspired by someone else's success. It's okay to be inspired by someone else's house or car or money, clothes, wardrobe, whatever. That's okay. But to feel as though I have to do everything that she does or he does in order to be where they are or to get to where they are, that's not really sustainable, right?
Exactly. And as it says, it's almost like you have to throw out the shoulda, woulda, couldas. You have to throw out the timelines in order to get to the timeline that you're supposed to be on.
Mhm.
Half of us, like it says, we're following behind what society has told us. I was guilty of that. Again, I come from a very religious background, and even today is still difficult sometimes to shake that off. uh, I find it creeping in. I was working on my Facebook, and I said, oh no. Today I was working on my dang Facebook, teacher, and I said I wanted to post this picture, and I said, oh no, it's not mine. I said, girl, you're not a Jehovah's Witness. Like, post that damn picture. But we get caught up in societal norms, and we're trying to make those norms our own. And you have to shake that off because those are limitations. And again, we are infinite beings here, not to be limited by anything. Shake those off. Shake off the shoulds, shake off the timelines, and allow yourself to live in the present moment and to get what's coming to you, what you deserve.
Right. And I think another thing that we should do is to stop living in the past because I feel like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
our past mistakes will keep us from moving forward as well. We start to feel guilty about the things that we could have done, should have done, but didn't do. Yeah, that's not really gonna help you now. So you might as well get over it. Okay.
Exactly.
And start living in this moment because as I said the other day, I think it was on a podcast that the only moment in time that exists is this one. The past no longer exists because if it did, you could go there. The future
Exactly.
doesn't exist either because if it could, I mean, technically, but we ain't gonna get that deep. So we're just gonna say you can't go to the past and you can't go to the future. The only moment that really matters is this one right here. So don't get caught up in all of the things that you could have done, should have done, the things that you did that you shouldn't have did, and all of that because at the end of the day, ain't shit you can do about it.
Boom. That part
Period.
right there.
Yep. Number two. Number two, get to know yourself. The opposite of self-doubt is self-belief. But you can't believe I'm something, but I can't believe I'm something until wait, but you can't believe. What is this trying to say, Karika?
Hold on, let me see. You remember, get to know yourself. The opposite of self doubt is
Number
self
two.
belief, but you can't believe you're something until you know who and
Okay.
what you are on a deep level. So
Okay.
in other words, you have to, it's that the old saying, know thyself. You have to know yourself so that you're, there's many sayings, you stand for something, you fall for anything. If you
Yeah.
don't know who you are, somebody can come along and they look, we know, like I said, all these things hit on some energetic level, the laws, of the universal laws. This is the law of replacement. If you don't know who you are, somebody else will put in you who you are.
Tell you
And
who
then
you
you will
are.
be, exactly, they will tell you who you are, and you will be living out what they feel you should. And we see this all the time. Matter of fact, I had a reading yesterday, and a young woman, she was asking about her career, and her ancestors were telling her, you need to shake off what your mother thinks. You need to shake off what other people think about you. What do you want? It's sort of like, when I was reading this and typing this out, and I apologize, y'all. I was typing this out on my phone, and my phone is cracked. My screen is cracked. I was like, Deidre, my apologies. Um, but when I was typing this out, it reminded me of the movies and Notebook. Y'all remember that movie Notebook? Noah and Allie, and they were on the dock, and he was asking her. He said, "What do you want?" And she could not, for the life of her, tell him what she wanted. That's a lot of us. In the universe, spirit is saying, "What the hell do you want?" You don't
Mhm.
know yourself, so I mean, how could you say, "I want this, I want that," or the other, until you know who you are on a complete level. So it's time, guys. Like I said, this is a great exercise. This whole entire um, presentation is a great exercise. It's self-awareness, getting to know yourself, know thyself. Number two.
No, most people don't know who they are. And when you ask a person, who are you? They say, I'm a mother, I'm a father, I, do this for a career, I'm a wife, I'm all of it, but who are you? Right? Outside of being these things for other people, who are you for you? And most people cannot answer that question.
Mhm.
Right. And most people have a really hard time going out and dating themselves. And this is an assignment that I always would give my mentees: go date yourself. They quick to call, hey girl, you want to leave some drink? Hey girl, you want to leave something? And feel like they can't go sit at a bar or sit at a table in a restaurant and just be alone. Most people don't know how to be alone, right? They get really antsy. This is why a lot of you all cannot meditate, because you don't know how to be alone with yourself, with your own thoughts. You don't know what the hell to do, right? And a lot of anxieties come from this, is because we're always around people, which is great, but it's also really healthy to be by yourself and get to know yourself. And when you truly know yourself, ain't nobody gonna shit on you. You're
Nope.
going to be so fucking unbothered, right? And nobody can mistreat you because you know who you are. But a lot of us are operating from a space of just not knowing. Okay. So number three, stop consuming info and start taking baby steps. Truth. I know it feels wonderful to consume all this motivational content, but don't get stuck in that feel good loop. Allow yourself time to stop leaning or learning in order to start implementing all your learning with baby steps. Give yourself tiny steps you can take to get the momentum going. This is facts. And I say this a lot
Mm-hmm.
of times. People have fear. What is it called? FOMO, fear of missing
Mm-hmm.
out. So people will sign up for the class and sign up for every course and every this, that,
Mm-hmm.
and the third, but then they in the same goddamn spot they
They
were
won't do the work.
a year ago,
They
because they
won't do the
don't
work.
want to implement. They don't. And being a part of the class or the course or the learning, it feels good in the moment. And then you shut your laptop and you say, dang, that was good. And then you go back to being yourself. You go back to doing nothing. And then you got the audacity, okay, to say, oh, that shit didn't work. That class didn't
Mm-hmm.
work. That course didn't work. That ritual didn't work. Well, what did you do?
Exactly.
Because watching, consuming the information is only a very small, that's the easiest part. Because all you gotta do is sit your ass down and listen. That's all you want to do. And then you
Exactly.
wonder why you're not getting ahead. Because you haven't done the
Exactly.
work. You haven't implemented. You don't, this work does not work, this damn leaf, via osmosis. Okay, that is
Exactly.
not, you have to do your part. You have to implement. Now, raise your hand, because I know it's a lot of y'all that didn't took classes and courses that you never even finished. How many? How many of
How
y'all
many?
want to be honest and say, yeah, that's me? You never
Exactly.
finished them and you damn sure didn't implement nothing. Because as soon as it got hard, as soon as the first exercise was too damn time consuming, you was like, I'll do it later. And later still ain't made it here. Who gonna be honest? Marlo said he did once. Okay, Marlo, you sure it was just one time? Rika gonna tell your business now.
Tell him, I will tell you business now. I mean, what it is that people don't want to do the work. How many times do we tell you guys you have got to do the work? I mean, we're bringing you information. All we're doing, whether it's a ritual, whether we're doing a class, all we're doing is giving you an opportunity. If you don't take the opportunity, you just missed out on it. And then, like teacher said, I've had people come back to me. Matter of fact, I was on that trip to Sedona with my mentees and a mentee that got kicked out of the house. We voted her off the island. Okay, you had to get voted off the island. They had the nerves to say, well, none of her stuff worked. And everybody was looking at her like, what are you talking about? Because she was the only one in the group that was just in the group consuming information and doing nothing more. And that's part of the problem, guys, is that you're consuming information and doing nothing more. Well, information is great, but what makes wisdom is information and action put together. If you're just consuming information, you're lacking action, you're lacking your work, your follow through. That's all you got is information. You got a head full of knowledge and nothing else.
Yeah, people love to say knowledge is power. And I hate when people say that.
I know,
It's only
because it's more than
powerful
that.
when you implement.
Only
That's the only
powerful when you
time knowledge
implement.
is power. Because it could be getting all dusty and cobwebby in your brain. Well, who is it helping? Okay, it's not powerful just sitting there, right? You can have a million books on a bookshelf in your home, and you say, "Oh, look, I'm so smart because I have all these books," but you ain't cracked neither one of them open. How do you think you're gonna learn? You're not. All right, so we got to stop. We got to implement. So this is a challenge for all of you. Y'all need to dust them classes off, dust them courses off today, and actually watch and then implement and watch how shit starts to change. It's amazing how that works. It's amazing. When you put in the work, it's amazing how things start to shift.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Number 4, get feedback from those you trust. If you are caught in the question, no, if you are caught in the questions about being good enough or lacking confidence, this can be really helpful. It's important to only select people you trust and then ask them, what can I improve on? A lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people don't want that constructive criticism because it's going to put their, probably more than likely, their lack of doing something right in their face. Yeah.
It makes you accountable. It's going back to the suggestion that teacher made earlier about getting a mentor, getting an accountability coach, somebody who's going to make you accountable, somebody who you have to come in front of, with some sort of frequency, and you have to make an accounting for what you've been doing. And a lot of people don't, again, we've talked about this, they don't want to be accountable or responsible. Success requires a high level of effort, accountability, and responsibility. And so most people don't want to expend that kind of effort to get the success that they want. So again, one of the best ways that you can see marked change is to join a mentorship program, which we'll get into that. We got y'all. And have someone who's going to hold you accountable for the choices that you make or don't make.
Yes. And again, on TikTok, we are streaming on my YouTube channel at Teacher Chanel. We're going to get into this pick a card here in a few minutes. We are almost done. So if you want to partake in the pick a card, you kind of got to be over there to look at the piles and pick one. So you want to go over to YouTube, all right, at Teacher Chanel. All right, number 5, rewrite the story or change the thought. When caught in self-doubt, we tend to use 1 or 2 negative experiences /stories to indicate why we aren't good enough. but it's never true. Shift your perspective by finding the evidence of the contrary. Yeah, you got to rewrite that story. You got to rewrite the story. That's the only way you're going to create a different reality.
Mm-hmm. You have to be willing.
Yeah, go ahead.
You have to be willing to leave behind what you were, the life that you have. And like Teacher was saying, I think she was about to say reframing. Was that what you were going to say? Reframing the story to be what you want. A lot of us, the reason why we're here is because we're not living the lives that we want to live. So it is time to shake those off, those no, and know that they no longer hold weight unless you allow them to hold weight. And that's why they're saying rewrite the story. Don't give it weight. Don't give it your energy. Um, the quickest way to smother a burning fire is to not give it any oxygen. So no longer give those old timelines or story the oxygen they need to keep burning. Smother it.
Yeah. Number 6, make commitments to yourself. Your brain likes to see proof and evidence to back up your new beliefs. Making a commitment to invest time or money into yourself or your dreams is a way to remind yourself that you are worthy. It's evidence of self-belief. I always say the worst commitment you could ever break is the one you made to yourself. And I've been saying that for years. And I was watching a podcast the other day with this billionaire on it. And he said the same thing. He said one of the worst commitments that you could ever make is the one you break with yourself. Am I breaking up? Go to YouTube.
Quickly, go over to YouTube.
Go to YouTube if I'm breaking up. Go to YouTube. I don't know what happened. I just plugged in my phone. What happened?
Now remember and let them know on IG, there is only a limited amount of time. You only have about an hour for that line.
This is TikTok.
That's TikTok. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And TikTok, they've been having some issues with their shit. Now getting back to make the commitments to yourself. What I constantly see is people not wanting to invest in themselves. You want a better life, but you don't want to invest in it. Me and Teacher, we both offer rituals, we both offer classes, and nobody wants to invest in it. Matter of fact, the last ritual of this month, guys, is the road opener. And I tell you guys every month, I said, y'all be sleeping on that. You sleep on that. Every single one of us have things that we want to manifest, but you don't want to take the time and effort to invest in getting that guaranteed yes from spirit. Well, if you don't want to invest in yourself, don't ask spirit to invest in you. You might as well not manifest if you're not willing to invest in yourself. Businesses, for those who are self-employed, who have businesses, you have to spend money in order to make money. You have to invest in that business in order to see a return from it. But people, have this mindset, they want instant gratification. If I can't get it now, I don't want it. If I can't see the gains now, I don't want it. Well, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. The spirit wants you to see how hungry you are. And when it sees your hunger, it's going to match it. It's like, okay, I see your hunger and I raise it too. So be willing and ready to invest in yourself. Like Teacher said, you want to buy classes, but you don't. You need to be in this damn class, but you're not. You need this mentorship, but you're like, oh no. I've had a mentee of mine who said, every time I know I need to spend the money to invest in myself, and I get in my head like, I don't feel like I can spend the money. And she says, when I do it, it always comes back to me.
Mm-hmm.
Get into that mindset. I'm going to invest in myself, and I'm going to see this return come right on back.
Yeah. We only can get the energy that we put out.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent this to my tribe, my text tribe yesterday, and I said the only seeds that will ever grow in your life are the ones that you plant. And if you never plant the seed, how the frick do you expect to harvest?
Mm-hmm.
How? It's impossible, right? You have to plant those seeds. You have to invest and know that your money is going to come back to you, right? You can only get back the energy that you put out. And so if you have a problem with investing in your business, then don't question why you don't have customers and clients. Because you haven't put that energy back to get it reciprocated. You haven't put it out there, right? Currency is always flowing, right? So if you're never putting any money out, how do you expect it to flow back? You're stopping it by not investing in yourself, okay? I could talk about that all day, but I won't. So we're gonna move on. Number 7, ultimately, it's about giving yourself permission to slow down. This allows you to get familiar with your thoughts and beliefs, create space for you to explore with mindfulness practices that strengthen your intuitive voice, which is meditation. How many of you all meditate daily, not once a quarter? How many of you meditate daily? Let me reword that. How many of you intentionally meditate daily? Because remember, there are many forms of meditation, and worry is one of them. Mm-hmm. Meditation is simply where you're focused, where you're hyper focused, right? And in a true meditative state, we are focusing on our breath, right? But we also can worry about bills and so many other things, and that becomes meditation as well. But how many of you sit and do breath work and intentionally meditate on a daily basis? How many of y'all actually do it? Don't lie, because we can tell when y'all lying.
Danny says she does. And see, you know what? Once you get into the habit of meditating.
Karika, we can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh, hold on. I had a call trying to come in.
Okay.
Yeah, once you get into a very frequent habit of meditation, your body will literally start to crave it. And it will respond so profoundly to it. I was meditating before. This morning I woke up, I said, man, I'm tired, but I have to get ready for this day and for this presentation. And I did a quick 10-minute meditation, and I could literally feel I was trying to shift into this mindset of teaching, of, showing up in this form that we are in currently. And I can literally feel myself jumping onto that timeline, shifting into that space. So guys, you have got to get into a consistent habit of mindful, very mindful meditation. And you'll start to see profound changes that come about, because one, you'll get very comfortable with who you are. And once you know who you are, then you know what you want, and you can actually ask for what you want.
Yeah.
In a more intentional way.
Absolutely. So we are going to hop into a quick Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, we'll answer a few of them before we get into the pick a card. But before we go there, we want to let you all know how you guys can connect with us on social. I am Teacher Chanel everywhere. Okay, and Karika is Ori Alchemy everywhere. We want to touch on CAA, which is CEO Attraction Academy. So for the people in the back who don't already know, who haven't heard us kind of talk about this already, Karika and I are coming together, and we have created the CEO Attraction Academy, which is an online mentorship mastermind. Okay, we are going to teach our first class in September. We're going to open up the doors for enrollment on September 1st. And some things that we're going to talk about and cover are obviously healing and then manifestation. Okay, so we're going to dig deep into 12 universal laws. We are also going to be teaching meditation and guiding some meditations. What else are we doing? We are going to teach on some beginner magic. We don't get deep into
beginner rituals. You're going to learn the 12 universal laws and how to operate in them effectively, and watch your mindset and your life shift. We're going to teach you about healing. We're going to teach you about spirituality. We're going to teach you about manifestation, and how they all go hand in hand, and how you can do so successfully. You're sitting here. I don't know if you guys can see me, because I put the card my camera down, But you're sitting before two women who have literally changed their lives around. Teacher has, for those who know her, you know where she comes from. And for me, I found myself damn near homeless twice in my life and kind of reworking my lifestyle into living. I say now I'm a nomad. I feel like I'm operating under the law of detachment from everything but what matters, and that's spirituality. And we're all being called. These are two women who have been called to their higher purpose, and that's to be here as teachers and healers for you guys. So we're going to teach you by and lead by example of how to get to the life that you want to live. We are here to create spaces um, of support and of healing, and to help you guys create the reality that you want. You can. Don't ever think that you can't. You absolutely can. You have two examples of doing so right before you today.
Yeah. Those who know me know that I've been homeless. I was homeless a couple of times. One time I was pregnant with twins in Texas heat and living in my van. So I've been suicidal, um, homeless. And when I was living in a place, like I said, it was small, it was cheap, it was roach infested. And I went from that energy to being a homeowner in 2020. I was able to also buy 2 weeks later one of my dream cars. I was able to pay cash for it. There was a point in time where I had cars repossessed, and now we have 5 vehicles and we don't have not nan car note. Hallelujah. Okay. So I have truly shifted and made a huge change in my life. But it really took me, again, acknowledging that my life sucked because my mindset sucked.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people, I'm going to use this word I don't typically use, but struggle in this area. If you are not living the life that you desire to live, then there's some type of work that you have to do, right? Because if you were truly aligned, then your life would be exactly how you desired it to be. And that is what y'all know. I love manifestation. Like, that is my wheelhouse. I love teaching people how to manifest. And that's what we're going to be doing, along with the healing and the chakras and the meditation and the universal laws, all of the things. In CEO Attraction Academy. So if you are interested in that, we will open up the doors for enrollment September 1st. Maybe we'll do it next month. I'm not sure yet exactly when we're going to open up the doors, but there's a number on the screen. You want to text CEO to 346-209-9421, and we will send out updates to you guys when we are teaching classes like this, as well as keeping you up to date on exactly when the website is going to drop and enrollment opens. Okay, it is a monthly membership, okay, to the mentorship program. We will definitely come back as we get closer to September 1 and break it all the way down for you guys. But until then, you guys can get on the list by texting CEO to the number that you see on the screen. And also, you can actually go to the website because it is up, it's just not done. And you can actually see what you can expect as well. Okay, so do we have any questions before we move on to the pick a card? Remember, if you want to participate in the pick a card, you gotta go to YouTube in order to pick your cards. All right, do we have any questions?
Any questions, guys? Go ahead and drop them in the chat, and we'll read them off and we'll get those answers for you. If you're here for the pick a card, I'll kind of explain how we do the pick a card in chat form, and we'll get started with that if we don't have questions. But if you have questions, just drop it in the chat. Teacher, where'd you go?
I'm still here.
Okay. Can you guys see the cards? Can you guys see the cards? I can't really see the card. Okay, I just flipped it back. All right. Do we have any questions, guys?
Any questions, let us know. If not, then maybe this will make it bigger.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
If not, then we're gonna go ahead to the pick a card.
All right, guys. So how pick a card works is, again, you use your intuition and you ask your spirit guides and your ancestors to guide you to the pile that holds the messages for you. What I like to do is I like to close my eyes. I like to take a couple of deep breaths to kind of clear my energy. And then when I open my eyes, I'll try to open it and see it with my third eye. It's if you're not working with your third eye, just ask which pile is mine and go with the one that your gut instinct will tell you is it holds the messages for you. So I'll give you guys about 30 seconds to pick your pile. Once you pick your piles, guys, commit to it. Again, we've been talking about committing to your success. So commit to your pile by placing your number in the chat box. This is pile number 1 is the amethyst. Pile number 2 is the tiger's eye. And pile number 3 is going to be the rose quartz. I did put crystals for those who need visuals. So pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Go ahead. You have about 30 seconds to pick. Once you picked your number, place your number in the chat box.
All right. So for those of you who refuse to go to YouTube, okay, pile number 1 is amethyst. Pile number 2 is tiger's eye. And pile number 3 is rose quartz. So you guys can, I guess, just pick one based on your crystal.
I don't know why y'all refuse to come over here. Y'all might as well just come on over.
Right. Y'all missed the whole presentation. We had slides and everything. They just come
slides and everything. We were triggering each other left and right. How difficult it was to get this out, but we did it. So this is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Once you picked your pile, go ahead and put that. Yep, we're starting to get numbers in. Pick your pile, commit to it. I'm a big proponent for commitment. Commit to it.
All right. Again, we have amethyst, tiger's eye, and rose quartz, y'all.
All right. I know we got a little bit of a delay, so I'm going to go ahead and put these to the side, and we'll start to focus on pile number 1. So if you pick the amethyst pile, you pick the Tasman African Tarot deck, this is your pile. This is your messages. So your oracle says, starseed ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. You also have cosmic heart and trust the timing, devotion, potency, making your life move, make your life in a moving, what the heck? Make your life a moving prayer. Girl, I'm you today.
Okay.
I can't talk, man. And trust the timing, trust the wave that is coming to you. Time is not running out. So a lot of you guys, okay, so procrastination, what I'm picking up from this pile number 1, if you pick this pile, a lot of you guys could be procrastinators. You could be avoiders and not allowing yourself to go deep. So you could be avoiders and you deep emotionally. And they're trying to, what your spirit team is trying to tell you that it's time for you to kind of relinquish. And some of you guys could be control freaks. I am getting that. Some of you guys could be control freaks. It's time for you to trust the process and trust the timing. Trust that your ancestors, some of you guys have starseed ancestral backgrounds, and that they are here. Hold on, because your messages are coming through. It's so
Karika, you're breaking up.
okay. Okay, so some of my pile number 1 people, you guys, because of past months, you have got kind of closed down emotionally, which makes you those avoiders, which makes you those don't trust yourself. Some of you guys are doubters as well. You got, I'm gonna say all over the place. If you pick pile number 1, you have multiple ways that you self-sabotage. You're coming through as having multiple ways that you're self-sabotaging. And some of you guys may be feeling like you will never find success because of the things that you're doing to yourself. I feel like a lot of my pile number 1 people, you know that you're doing this, and you feel like you're never going to have the success, and that the road to success is it's a very long road, barren road that you're not going to be able to get through. And your ancestors are telling you, one, that they have you, and that they have you. They are all around you. You see those ancestors in the stars, they're all around you. And that you have been what they have been asking for. So there's no way that they're going to allow you to fall. Some of you guys do have those heart blockages that cause you to act in this manner. You may need to have energy cleared in order to remove some of these energetic energies that kind of permeate who you are, but trust that in divine timing that you will be able to remove these blockages and you will be on the road to success. So you guys, like I said, many of you guys who pick pile number one, you have more than just one way of self-sabotaging. But the ones that did come out heavily was the the voider, the protector, the procrastinator, and control freak. Those were, so if you were any of those or multiple of those, this was a good pile for you if you pick this pile because you're showing up that way. Yeah, you stay in your head too. You stay in your head and just over the ways that you self-sabotage is keeping you from manifesting. It's keeping you from moving forward. It's keeping you from going into action. A lot of you guys are supposed to be entrepreneurs. A lot of you guys are supposed to be stepping into power roles where you have control over your life and you don't. You feel like you don't. And like I said, for a lot of you guys, you feel like this road is going to be a lot harder because you don't know how to get out of your own way. I feel like a lot of you guys are in your own way. And so you just stay, like I said, as an avoider, as a protector behind this protective gate, not moving forward. And your ancestors are telling you it is time to go. It is time to put in the work. Like we were saying, a lot of you guys avoid doing the work. You consume a lot of information, pile number one, but you don't do the work that is needed. And your ancestors are calling you forward. And I feel like they're going to be bringing a lot more information about your ancestral background. You guys, some of you guys could be into the star seed ideology, and by there's good reason because I feel like you do have it. Hold up, pile number one. We're missing a card. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. I'll be damned. Okay, I thought we were missing a card. Um, what I'm gonna say this: the reason why you want to move forward, pile number one, is because what you have coming towards you is this: you have a divine union that may be coming towards you, and this is what you're avoiding. And this is what you're going to delay in coming towards you. This is what something that you've been manifesting. So, my pile number one, people, if you've been manifesting love, it's going to take work to get there. You're in your own way right now. Um, like I said, you're avoiding a lot of things, you're juggling a lot of things, you're taking on a lot of needless things that take the focus off of what you should be doing, and that is healing. That is healing, and your ancestors are coming forward, and your spirit guides are coming forward to tell you it's now time to do the work because you guys have a union that is going to be very powerful. For some of you, there's a power couple dynamic, but you can't get this dynamic if you have not done the work to step into either the position of the emperor or the empress. So you're holding yourself back. And a lot of times, like we said in the presentation, a lot of times um, the underbelly of all of these personality traits is that you limit yourself. And you guys might have been in relationships that you know you shouldn't be in, that has limited you when you have something that is far greater and far better on the horizon. So, pile number one, stop being in your head, stop being avoiders, stop being procrastinators, and let's get moving. It's going to take you doing the work. A lot of you guys are not doing the work that needs to be done. So, a lot of you guys, like I said, could be consuming a lot of information because you know about manifestation. You know about it and you want it and you've been trying to practice it and you might have seen small gains, but not the gains in which these cards are promising that you're going to have. Get out of your own way.
All
Get
right,
out of your own way.
Karika, you done?
Yep, I'm done.
Okay. All right, so I pulled cards as well. And I got the Magician as she did. I also got the Hanged Man, Strength, 10 of Wands, 7 of Wands, Tower, and World in Reverse. And so a lot of you are indecisive because of certain things that you all have been through, right? It's kind of like I tried that before. I don't want to try that again because it didn't work the first time. So I'm just going to sit here in my indecisive ways and not move forward. Okay. But the Magician is here. The Magician is one of my favorite cards in the deck because this lets you know that you have everything within to manifest whatever you want. But because of a lot of the hurt and a lot of just being in your own head, you're creating these unnecessary tower moments. Okay. And things will inevitably fall apart because, again, we're going back to that self-fulfilled prophecy. So the wheel cannot turn, the world cannot start to turn in your favor. You can't really embark on new opportunities because you're still so stuck in this place of scared to step out of your comfort zone. Okay. But again, that magician is here to tell you otherwise, that as long as you work on yourself and you heal from whatever this past thing is, that you're able to manifest whatever you want. And as she said, coming up, that union for some of you, definitely is definitely coming in for you. But a lot of things, a lot of opportunities, you're holding them back just by your energy, and you're not wanting to move on from whatever this hurt or trauma is.
I completely agree. So pile number one, like I said, I know one of the things that they said was get out of your own way. You're in your own way. You're holding yourself back. And like I said, I think the underbelly of a lot of what we talked about in the slides were the fear that's limiting your possibility. Like I said, a lot of you guys, for my pile number one, you know about manifestation. You know how to use the tools. You're just not doing the work to get there. You're
Mhm.
allowing these traits to kind of hold you back. So pile number two, if you chose the tiger's eye, you chose the elemental goddess hero, this is for you. Now you have poised, happy, and soulmates. So my pile number two people, with this poised card, I feel like a lot of you guys feel you're stuck in how you show up. You're stuck in the ideologies that other people have for you. You're stuck in the it reminds me, I had a young lady yesterday who had a reading, and what they're showing me, they're bringing me back to that, is that a lot of you guys worry about what other people think, and the other people's worries or other people's expectations cripple you. You're doubters. A lot of you guys are doubters. You may look good on the outside, but on the inside you're a mess. You look good on the outside. I feel like my pile number two people, you put on a happy front. But on the inside, there's energetic chaos, mental chaos, overthinking. You could be an overthinker and a doubter. Again, those two go hand in hand. You could be a perfectionist as well with this poise.
Mhm.
You, like I said, it's the front that you put on. It's the way that you come off. You want to come off as perfect. You want to come off as put together, and on the inner side, on the inside, you are a absolute mess. But I feel like for my pile number two people, what's going to kind of help you is that there is a soulmate coming. Now remember what a soulmate is. A soulmate is not necessarily a romantic partner. A soulmate is someone who's going to come into your life and bring you a lesson for your soul's evolution. And I feel like this soulmate could be platonic, it could be a sibling, it could be a mentor that's going to help you to realize the chaos that's inside. You're also creating it in your outer, in the external, and they're going to help you to kind of find that balance, that real poise. When you think about the word poise, you're thinking about very balanced, very centered, and they're going to help you to find that balance, and they're going to help you to find that inner happiness. Once we said know thyself. These cards are reminding me of that. Know thyself. When we are being judged by societal norms, when we are being kind of governed by societal norms, when we're putting other people's feelings and expectations and intentions ahead of our own, we're not truly happy. You're looking outside of yourself for that happiness. And I feel like this soulmate or this mentor is going to teach you how to go within. I get a lot of meditation. So my pile number two people, we spoke about meditation. Meditation can deeply help you to kind of calm the chaos that's inside. A lot of you guys might feel like we talked about people feeling like they're a fraud. You might feel like you're a fraud. You might feel like you're an imposter. It's an issue of self-worth where you keep looking outside of yourself for happiness, and you're more available to make other people happy than yourselves. And I feel like this mentor is going to help you to see that and help you to stop that. Yeah, you guys have some deep healing that needs to be done. Pile number pile number two. And that deep healing is going to cause you're going to have to go within. You have the high priestess. High Priestess is all about intention and intuition, and you're going to have to be very intentional with your meditation in order to kind of clear these blocks. And I feel like this soulmate that's coming is coming very, very quickly, and you're going to be able to have communication that's going to put you on the right path. Like I said, a lot of you guys could have been doubters. You've been stung. Look, and here's a soulmate card. You got the Four of Wands. You got the soulmate card. And it's gonna this connection is really gonna rebirth you. It's gonna rebirth you into the person that you're gonna need to be in order to step into the person that you need to be. And I feel like a lot of you guys have been stung so much by your own the self-doubt, the procrastination, the overthinking, and you're to the point where you could, a lot of my pile number two people, you could be very despondent. You can be prone to depression because you feel like in a mentally you can't move forward. And I feel like this person is going to help you to kind of reinvent yourself, reframe your thinking. Thank you. Reframe your thinking, and start to listen to that intuition, which is going to quiet that doubt. What did you get, teacher?
First of all, those of you joining on TikTok, we are at the end of the self-sabotage webinar. We are actually streaming on YouTube at Teacher Chanel on my channel. So if any of you would like to rewatch it, you can. But right now we're just doing a pick a card, just to kind of get some insight into what some of you all may be dealing with. So again, if you want to hop over there, we'll be on for a few more minutes at Teacher Chanel. But it's really, really interesting that I'm pretty much getting very similar messages. You talk about someone coming in, a soulmate. I totally get that as well. And I feel like that's going to happen pretty quickly. Definitely going to be some type of collaboration going on. There's going to be a person that's going to help you along. But I feel like this problem too, right? Very much so in your head. And I also pick up on some kind of childish energy as well. And when I say childish energy, I mean like victim, right? So you guys may kind of play into that victim mentality as well. But it's really just time to, again, take some accountability and this is affecting you all's money too.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get that?
Mm-hmm.
This is affecting you all's money. So yeah, definitely work on that energy. And when that mentor or that as she said, that soulmate comes in for you guys, be willing to listen and to let somebody else lead. Because I think that could be an issue as well for some of you all. But you gotta not be so guarded. I think some of the guardedness plays into the pettiness and the childishness. But
It's a defense mechanism.
it is. But you're
Okay.
only helping you. You're only helping you by doing that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I will say this. One thing that you just said, like I said, for my pile number two people, with this Five of Swords energy, I think you're coming to the point where you've been doing the self-sabotaging tactics so long. It's almost like spirit is asking you now, how's that working for you? And a lot of you guys could be suffering from it almost feels like a depression, because you feel like nothing is going right, and that plays in. It's like a vicious cycle. It plays into that victim mentality. Nothing's going right, and so you're feeling like you're spinning your wheels, and it's going to take a lot of work to get you out of this energy. But I feel like this person is going to help you, and they're going to hold you accountable. And I feel like they're going to do it in a very loving way, as the King of Cups. They're going to do it in a very loving way. But that King of Cups, by no means, because he has a heart full of love and compassion for you, is he going to allow you to continue to play victim? That is a father or a person who's going to require you to step up to the plate. That's something else I got. All right. Okay, so I got a lot of overthinkers, doubters, perfectionists, and procrastinators for that pile. I don't know if you felt that too, teacher?
Perfectionist for sure.
Uh-huh. Got
Soon as
that.
that
Okay.
poise came out, I was like, oh, we see where this is going.
There we go. See what you're talking about. Okay,
We
so
see where
pile
this is
number
going.
if you pick the rose quartz, this is your message. You pick the light seers tarot. So your oracle states, attend to the details, relax, and reveal what needs to be seen. A lot of you guys don't want to hear the truth. This is I'm getting control freak, Scorpio energy. There's and Scorpios, we are notorious control freaks. So yeah, there's some of you guys could be Scorpios or water signs, and they're telling you to relax. To understand, again, you can't control every element of what's going to happen. When you do, you're actually limiting your potential and possibilities of miracles being performed in your life. I keep telling you guys that. Also, attending to the details. Some of you guys could be so into there's overthinkers definitely in this pile where you attend to the details, and a lot of these details are negative. You tend to lean towards the negative because a lot of the colors of your cards are dark, so you tend to lean towards that pessimistic energy, and then you kind of stew in that energy, guys. And they're telling you you got that has to be revealed. You have to own up to it. A lot of you guys don't own up to what you do. It's easier for you, and a lot of you guys could fall into the trap where you have self-fulfilling prophecies. If I can't control it, if I'm leaning towards the negative, I shouldn't even move forward because it's not going to work out anyway. That type of reciprocal energy that kind of keeps you on this perpetual wheel of going nowhere. So pile number two, excuse me, pile number three, I'm picking up overthinkers definitely. I'm thinking of picking up pessimistic energy where you lean towards negative assumers. That's what it is. Thank you, Spirit. Assumers. Some of you guys could be assumers. So you're assuming that negative things are going to happen. You're already assuming the outcome. They're telling you, Spirit is literally telling you to relax and to allow what is going to be revealed to you, because it could actually be greater than you could have ever imagined. So I'm getting some assumers, which I didn't get in the other piles. You guys could be assumers. Stop assuming the negative. Yeah. And it leaves you stuck. You don't make a move because you assume that you know what's outside. So you don't make a decision. I'm not going to do it because this person's going to show up like this, or this person's going to be that. And it causes you just stay in the stuck energy and not take any action forward. And you're being called to take action. You're being called to make a decision. You guys might have a very hard time making decisions. You might be very, very highly indecisive. um Hold up, I'm missing a card in this one. Let me get one more card. Where is my light tears? Oh, here it is. I knew I was missing one card. I knew there was a pile I was missing. Give me one more card for pile number three, please. Okay, yep, action. Okay, you gotta take action. It's time for you guys to make a decision. Stop assuming that you know everything and then just remaining stuck and not making any sort of movement forward. A lot of you guys from pile number three, you are heavily stuck and you're not making the needed gains that you need to make, because they're saying when you get into your head and you assume the outcome, you like I said, you limit it, and what could be coming towards you is amazing. It could be love, it could be happiness, it could be both. But you'll never know if you just stay stuck in this energy of thinking that you know what's coming and not making a move. This is a heavy assumers pile, heavy on the assumptions. Remember, what you assume is what you create. Go ahead, teacher.
Okay. So what I'm getting for pile number threes is y'all have been in hermit mode too fucking long. Okay. You've been stuck in this planning phase, right? And it's time to take action. That's where a lot of your stuckness is coming from. It's because, there are so many people there are planners. Like there are habitual plan. I'm a planner, but I don't get stuck there. There's these people who love to write everything down, and they love to stay in the space of writing it down and researching, but they never do, right? And they'll sit and plan and plan and sit and plan, but they never actually move, right? And then you just kind of get yourself into this imbalanced state because too much of a too much of anything can be bad. It can be imbalancing. So a lot of you all just need to make a decision and get out of that planning phase, get out of that hermit mode, okay, and move around. Yep, I got 2 of 1s too.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
gotta, it's time to get up. It's time to move. It's time to go. Stop assuming that the shit is not gonna work, girl. You didn't plan it out to the T.
Just
Now
implement it. Yeah,
you
implement
do.
it.
You gotta do, because this is where you're gonna find yourself. That's
Yep,
where you're gonna find yourself, and that ain't where you want to be, friends. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, pile number three is I feel like spirit and your ancestors are telling you it's time to make. You've already attended to the details. You've attended to the details so much that
Yeah.
you have put yourself in a pessimistic and negative state. And
Right.
it's now time. It is true. That's that assuming. It's
Yeah.
time for you to relax and to get going. Get going because I feel like once you make again, like people say, well, how do I get started? You just do. You just take action. And I feel like when you take the action, the outcome is going to be far greater than you could have ever imagined, guys.
Facts.
But
Facts.
yeah, you're holding yourself back from this. You're holding yourself back.
Yeah. Y'all gonna be good, but you just
Hmm.
gotta take action. You gotta do the work. You have to. That's the only way that you guys are going to be successful. That's it. That's all. Yeah, get out of that writing phase, because after a while, okay, so here's the thing. So I'll give you guys an example. I have a client, hopefully she's not on here, but I have a client who
Too
has
late now.
right. I have been, y'all know I'm a real estate agent. If you don't know, you know, I'm a real estate agent as well. And I have been looking for an apartment for her. And I've sent her so many. And every single apartment, oh, I like this one. Oh, I want this one. Oh, I want this one. To the point where we have been stuck in that phase for so long. Now the prices have gone up. Now the apartment that you could have afforded 2 months ago, you can't afford it anymore because the price went up because of that indecision and that sitting and planning and just being like a rabbit. You hear it there, and you love everything so much so that you have so many options that you don't make a decision for nothing. And now she's gonna have to pay more. And that's just not, so sometimes your plans are only good for this moment, right? They only work for this moment. Sometimes you gotta strike while the iron is hot, as they say. But now then you gotta start planning all over again because you didn't settle on plans for so long. And if you were to implement that exact strategy, it's not gonna work. So it's time to get up. That's the message for everybody. For those of you, how many of you have just kind of been waiting to do something, waiting to start the business, waiting to move, waiting to heal, just waiting? How many of you have been in a perpetual state of hurry up and wait? Let me know. Let us know. I tried to take advantage of me, but it took my money. You tried what, Jazz? How many of you have been in that perpetual state of waiting? I'm going to start tomorrow, maybe Monday. Spirit ain't told me to move yet. I'm waiting on spirit. How many people are there? Because I can guarantee you, if you keep that same energy, you're gonna be here next year, the year after that, the year after that. You're not gonna move. You can only move. There's miracle in the movement. Right? You're
Hmm.
not going to have all the answers from the beginning. As you embark on the journey, that's when things become more and more clear. Yeah, y'all just wait.
Jazz and Brandy, they all said me. Exactly.
They did.
Exactly.
Just hurry up and wait. What are you waiting for? What if you are successful? How would you know if
Well,
you
I
never
think it goes
are?
back. Exactly. I think it goes back to a lot of people. We talk about people having a fear of failure, but a lot of people actually have fear of success. I was
That,
one of those.
absolutely.
I was like literally, if I succeed, I surpass everyone that ever taught me anything. And then, who am I to think that I'm smarter than them? Who am I to think that I know more than them? So we limit ourselves by not moving. But again, my ancestors taught me, and my mother, who's passed, who I work with regularly, she even taught me that we're here to surpass them. My ancestors once in a reading, they said, I was what they dreamed of. We're not here to limit their dreams. We're here to surpass them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was me too for a long time. As I said, my mom was an entrepreneur. She was a seamstress. And I sat and watched her not charge her worth. People would bring her pictures out of bridal magazines of $10,000 and $20,000 dresses, and she would turn around and make it for $1,000. So after all of the hours of hand beating, she really didn't make any money. And so I watched that, and I think for the longest time, I felt guilty because I'm able to make in 1 month what it would take her several months to make, just because she didn't charge her worth. And so my prices are going up just for the people in the back, because
Mine too.
I don't charge my worth either. I put in so much in everything that I do. I go above and beyond in every single thing that I do. Yeah, yeah, that part is holding me back as well. So no more, absolutely not. Jazz, waiting to get all information and right vendors. How will you ever get the right vendors if you're not sampling the products? That's the only way
Exactly.
you're gonna know. If you're waiting for somebody to tell you who the right vendors are, you don't know what their expectations are.
Exactly. They're not yours. They're not
Yeah,
yours. And you're not going to know that they're right for you unless you work with them.
right. Because that somebody may come to you and say, "Oh, girl, they have amazing whatever it is, X, Y, and Z," and then you get it, and it's not up to your standards.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the only way that the path is gonna become clearer and clearer is if you embark on the path. That's
Exactly.
all. Everything is
And
gonna be cloudy and foggy until but you gotta walk.
and Jazz, when you say I'm looking for the right vendors, that tells me that man, I just had the thought. Man, I hate when spirit gives me the thought and then it goes just like that. Dang it, spirit had a message. Hopefully I can get it back, Jazz. When you're looking for the right vendors, what were you trying to say?
Not
Hopefully
coming
it'll
back.
come back. It's not coming back. It was a good one too. I was like, okay, I'll let her know. Uh, I, I can't get it back. It's
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
I think JC said, "Do you get paid for what you know or get paid your worth?" That's a good one. That's a
I'm
good
gonna
one.
get paid my worth. I want my worth.
Yeah. Yeah, because we deserve it. So last before we hop off of here, do anybody have any other questions, any last questions before we get off? Remember to text. Let me bring that slide back up, then I'm gonna lose the chat, but let me see. I'm gonna bring the slide back up. Okay. You guys, if you're interested in learning more about CAA, you guys can text the number on the screen. Also follow our Instagram. We haven't posted anything yet, but we will. Follow all of our socials here on the page, and also text the number, text COO to 346-209-9421, and that's where we will be sending updates for enrollment. All right. So if we don't have any other do we have any questions showing up in the chat?
Let's see, guys. Do you have any questions? We have a slight delay. We have a slight delay. So I don't see anything showing up. I don't see anything showing up.
Okay, it's 1:11 Central. 1:11. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope that you guys got something out of this. And make sure that you share. What did you learn? Share with us on your stories on Instagram, tag us,
Exactly.
and let us know what you got out of this. What is one thing? And furthermore, what are you going to what? What's the word of the day?
Implement.
Implement.
What actions are you going to take? Actionable steps are you going to take now that you know ways that you're limiting yourself? What actionable steps are you going to take to stop it? Or are we going to keep seeing you on that perpetual wheel like a hamster just going round and round? It's time to get off the hamster wheel, folks. And that's what we're here to help you do, is get off that hamster wheel.
Yeah, you ought to be dizzy by now.
Dizzy, nauseous.
Yeah, dizzy and afraid.
So guys, yeah, we want you guys to take this information and use it. The reason why we're doing this is that we're here, like I said, to heal others, and we're here to make you aware of what's happening and what you might not even be cognizant that you're doing. It's like Maya Angelou said, "Once you know better, you do better."
That's right. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and hop off. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We will see you in the next one. Make sure that you connect with us on all of our socials. Teacher Chanel everywhere, Ori_alchemy everywhere, but your Ori Alchemy on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. You'll see me in the chat in YouTube. It's Ori Alchemy, but
Yeah.
everywhere else is Ori_alchemy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Follow CAA's Instagram page. Text us if you want to get more information on the mentorship program. And we will see y'all in the next one. Bye.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Thank you.
Lord, I can't end TikTok. Okay, there we go.